This is Shroud Key in the Exuma Cays Land and Sea Park, and with its natural beauty, secluded beaches and calm anchorage, it's somewhere that's been on my bucket list for years. But starting from when I left Nassau a few days ago. So that was a short sail, well, motor, about an hour. I don't know if you can see it, but basically there's the bridges over there. This area here is called Athol Key, and I'm not sure if I made myself entirely popular with where I've anchored, because I'm kind of in the way here. And there's a boat coming. Let me see if I need to move. Alright, well, they just breezed right past my bow. Didn't seem to bother them. Yeah, so there's actually a reef. Oops. See that little islandy bit there? Then there's reef kind of running, sticking out. And it comes to about here somewhere. And then there's a entrance channel in that way. So I wanted to anchor inside the entrance channel and tuck myself right in close, but as I dropped the anchor I was kind of looking around, and there's a, well, you probably can't see it from there, but if you can see there's a dark spot in the water over there. That's a rock, and what I was worried about was as the wind shifts around to come more from the east overnight, that was going to swing me closer and onto that rock. Hopefully I've left myself enough room, but I'll just, I'll keep a watchful eye through the night. Anyway, I'm here, I'm anchored, now I'm going to have my lunch. Not an ideal day to be crossing the yellow bank on the way to the Exumas. It's pretty cloudy, pretty breezy. The wind is coming straight out of the east, so I'm pinching up as high as I can to aim for Allen's Key. I might have to bear away a little bit as the day goes on, we'll see. Yeah, the winds, I'm doing okay in the wind, but as always, it's the waves. The waves just are slamming into me and slowing me down all the time. I have one reef in the jib and one reef in the main, and it's kind of 18 knots, gusting up to 20 plus. Just another dull day, or not dull, grey day in the Bahamas. I'm approaching the yellow bank, which is why I've changed out my regular glasses for my polarized sunglasses. It says don't cross the bank on autopilot, but I've got no choice. What I'm going to do, I have my camera set up, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, or coming up to 11 o'clock in the morning to cross, which is all the right things to do. It would have been a bit better actually, maybe 1 o'clock with the sun behind me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and stand at the front, holding on to the front of the boat and keep my eyes open, and if I see anything nasty I'll run back and change direction. That's all I can do. It's a little different up here. Depowered the sails because it's gusting up to 25 knots again. So you can see I've seated out the main,
You can see the telltales on
the telltales on the jib are all the wrong way, fluttering the wrong way. But rather that than try to rethin, as you can see, but that's what I'm trying to avoid. Way too windy to wear my cap, so this is my sun protection, working very effectively and elegant too, I may say so myself. Yeah, I say it was windy. Once again, the forecast is massively out. It was forecast to be 15 knots, 15 knots, dying down, and then with occasional gusts up to about 19. So right now it's steady 25, gusting up to 30. So anyway, another 3-4 hours to get in. Finally in the Exumas. I've anchored just off Allen's Key in the northern Exumas, home of the endangered Allen's Key Exuman iguana, apparently. But now dinner, and I'm too tired to even have a beer. My original plan was to dinghy down to one of the beaches on Allen's Key today. It's cloudy and miserable coming from the east, a little gusty still. The path across to the beach looks a little rough from where I am. So I've decided, and oh yeah, and the wind is going to switch round either tonight or early tomorrow morning, coming more from the south and eventually directly from the south, and I'm totally exposed from the south where I am here. So I've decided I'm going to sail down to a place called Shroud Key. There's a couple of anchorages which look reasonably protected from the south, and I'm going to hang out there for hopefully for a couple of days. I want to be somewhere where I'm actually anchored for a couple of days at least. Shroud Key, there's a mangrove river you can go into and stuff like that. It looks quite interesting. I'm anchored off Shroud Key. That's Shroud Key behind me, and this is my anchorage. I'm going to show you around. I came from up north. That's 16 nautical miles. Yeah, you may wonder why I'm anchored so far out. I'm also wondering the same thing. Yeah, so tomorrow, dinghy in the water, engine on, and I'm going to motor up to the island and get on shore for a while. This is my first beer. Well, no, that's not true. I had a couple of beers when I was in Nassau at the restaurant. But this is my first beer on board since I think I arrived in Bimini. Cheers. You know, still a bit windy, but this was much more like what I was imagining when I planned this part of the trip. It was exactly what I'm hoping the Exumas are going to be like. Short sails, easy anchorages, little motoring and relaxing with a beer and a snack. I've had my morning coffee and now I'm off to explore the famous Shroud Key mangroves.
Supposed to come in on a rising tide and then gives you all the tide, and then you can leave on a falling tide, but I'm a little late. Well, I didn't plan to come really. I would break out to the other side pretty quickly, but it still looks a bloody long way, and given the state of the tide I'm going to turn around and make my way back. That looks like ocean out there. Here we go.
So this is the area they call the rapids or the wash or something. So that is the open ocean, and when the tide comes in it rushes through these narrows here. Alright, bucket list item ticked off. Although I would like to swim, but given this, it's high tide now, I'm going to go. I may come back tomorrow and try it tomorrow. So, two big turtles just raised their heads, but of course I didn't have the camera on. There's the turtle. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to stay around too long because it might annoy them. There it goes, there it goes. Not sure if I got that. He just popped his head up, grabbed a breath, dived down. Obviously he doesn't like all these bloody tourists. I continued looking, but didn't see any more turtles. But it was still spectacularly beautiful. Ah, that was by far my best landing yet. That anchorage. Pretty blinking nice. Tracks. Iguana, my guess. Good to know if I get hungry. Although I'm in a marine park, so I'm not allowed to eat iguana. Remember eating thub in the desert in Oman with my bib drivers. That's pretty tasty. Sunday breakfast, beans on toast, another second cup of coffee. So these are the rapids which we looked at yesterday, but we were right at high tide. Now the tide is rising, so the water's rushing in and splishing in there. So apparently you get a kind of roller coaster. I'm just going to check the current in here first and then try it. Okay. That is cold. That is cold. Let's see what I get out of it. That's pretty strong. To get back to the shore now. That goes pretty strong. Okay, now for the main one. Whoa! Flying! Yeah, what is your fins? And two hands. Alright. That is a fun ride. I'm just drifting down without the motor in the hope that I see some turtles. I was right on top of it. I don't know if you can see that, but it didn't come up. Oh well, never mind. Well, that was a fun couple of days, but time to head back to the boat and get ready to move on to probably the most popular quay in the Land and Sea Park.